The Chemical War on Masculinity, Atrazine and the Feminization of Species in Welcome Back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11-time published author, and this is The Elimination of Gender, a series examining how sex-based humanity is being systematically phased out. In today's video, we're going to explore one of the most heavily suppressed and misunderstood biological events of the last 50 years, the chemical war on masculinity. This is not about identity. This is not about preference. This is about measurable, documented, biologically observable collapse of the male hormone profile across species, including humans. And the data begins, not in a lab full of men, but in a pond full of frogs. Dr. Tyrone Hayes, a biologist at UC Berkeley, was one of the first scientists to uncover the disturbing effects of the herbicide atrazine on amphibians. His lab exposed male frogs to trace amounts of atrazine, one of the most commonly used agricultural chemicals in the United States. The result? The frogs not only showed suppressed testosterone and abnormal gonad development, many of them completely transformed into functional females. They developed ovaries. They mated with other males. They laid eggs. In some cases, they reproduced. These weren't fringe experiments. Hayes published his findings in peer-reviewed journals. He testified before Congress. And instead of triggering nationwide reform, he was attacked, discredited, silenced. Why? Because atrazine was, and still is, worth billions of dollars to the chemical industry. It's used on corn, sugarcane, and turf, and it ends up in water systems across the country. The EPA knows this. Scientists know this. But the public does not, because acknowledging what Hayes uncovered would mean accepting a terrifying reality: that male biology is chemically vulnerable and actively under attack. Atrazine is not the only compound with feminizing effects. There's also BPA, bisphenol A, found in plastics, receipts, food can linings, and baby bottles. BPA is a known endocrine disruptor, meaning it mimics estrogen in the body. Even in small doses, it disrupts the delicate balance of sex hormones in both males and females. Then there are phthalates, chemicals used to soften plastics and stabilize fragrances. They are in shampoos, lotions, toys, and cleaning supplies. Like BPA, phthalates suppress testosterone and are linked to reduced sperm count, genital malformations, and delayed or disrupted puberty. Together, these chemicals form a toxic landscape in which humans are bathing daily. They are absorbed through the skin, ingested in food and drink, and inhaled through airborne particles. They bioaccumulate, meaning they build up over time, and are passed from mother to fetus during pregnancy. In short, the attack on gendered biology begins before a child is even born. What's happening to men is not anecdotal. It's epidemiological. Sperm counts in the Western world have dropped more than 50% since the 1970s. Testosterone levels are declining in young men by as much as 1% per year. Boys are experiencing lower testicular volume, delayed or abnormal genital development, and increased rates of intersex traits. Meanwhile, girls are hitting puberty earlier and earlier, which is another marker of hormonal disruption. This is not cultural evolution. This is chemical interference. Now let's ask the uncomfortable question. If this was happening to women, would it be ignored the same way? Probably not. The war on masculinity is rarely framed as a public health crisis because it doesn't fit the current narrative. We are told that male decline is the result of social changes, loss of traditional roles, shifting gender norms, or psychological malaise. But what if the real cause isn't psychological at all? What if the real cause is physical, chemical, engineered? The silence on this topic is not accidental. When masculinity is chemically weakened across generations, a very specific outcome is achieved: the destabilization of the masculine role as protector, as provider, as resistance. Lower testosterone means less assertiveness, less risk-taking, less independence. It means docility, compliance, passivity. From an evolutionary standpoint, this is catastrophic. But from a control standpoint, it's extremely useful. The mainstream media has played a subtle role in normalizing this shift. The soft male is now a celebrated archetype, less aggressive, more emotionally expressive, more dependent on external validation. While there's nothing wrong with emotional expression, the biological underpinning of masculinity is not just a social costume. It is hormonal architecture. When that architecture is eroded chemically, the resulting personality changes are not just psychological, they're systemic. Look at how the entertainment industry reinforces this trend. Male characters in film and television are increasingly written as passive, indecisive, or infantilized. Masculine authority is mocked, while hyper-feminized male bodies are celebrated. At the same time, products containing estrogenic compounds are aggressively marketed to men: soaps, grooming products, protein powders, many of which are filled with xenoestrogens. It's a perfect loop. Weaken the biology, normalize the behavior, and call it progress. What we are seeing is not just the decline of traditional masculinity, it's the chemical reprogramming of the male species. And it's not limited to humans. Endocrine disruption has been documented in all kinds of wildlife. Fish with both testes and ovaries, birds exhibiting reversed mating behaviors, mammals showing reduced fertility and altered sex ratios. This is a cross-species phenomenon. It is not theory. It is observable. And it is accelerating. Why is this happening? The standard narrative is environmental negligence. Industry cut corners. Governments failed to regulate. But the deeper possibility, and the one we will explore throughout this series, is that it's not just negligence, it's intention. If the goal is to transition from biological reproduction to synthetic reproduction, then weakening male fertility is not a side effect, it's a prerequisite. Sperm banks, IVF clinics, and synthetic sperm startups are already preparing for a future where natural conception is rare or even obsolete. Artificial wombs, gene-edited embryos, and AI-designed children are already on the table. In that future, gender doesn't matter. Masculine and feminine become obsolete. All that matters is compliance with the system that now controls creation itself. The question is no longer whether masculinity is under attack. The question is why so few are willing to say it out loud. As we continue in this series, we will examine how gender, reproduction, and the future of the human species are being transformed, not by culture wars, but by systems far more powerful and far less accountable. This is the elimination of gender. And the war on masculinity is not metaphorical, it's chemical. It's happening right now. And it's reshaping the next generation, molecule by molecule. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing. And no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones. The replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans. The merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.